Hi, welcome back to Lovin Sheila, the podcast. It's been a minute and I couldn't wait to get back to you. You know, I've been meditating and like I told you, like processing, because doing the work, it takes time. And sometimes I feel like I'm rushing back to report to you, but I haven't got a chance to sit in it and meditate and get it right. You know, so I basically took a week to do just that. And I tell you, life has been lifing. It's been a lot, and so we'll probably get into a little bit of that as we proceed. But I want to go back for a minute to Alice in Wonderland, because during this week or these weeks I've been thinking about, why did I want to approach Alice in Wonderland? What was the significance? And I think the significance was absolutely for me. Of course, it brings the fact that art is reflective of our lives and we can see ourselves in all these different situations. And so I found myself, why Alice in Wonderland? And yes, there is a champion, but most importantly, I guess where I can identify is that I was Alice and it was a Wonderland for me. So visiting Alice in Wonderland helped me to see myself. And see myself in Wonderland, and see myself wondering, and see myself going through the process and not accepting different things as my reality, and thinking any minute I'm going to wake up from this and this is not going to be my reality. So there's nothing I have to learn from this. There's nothing I have to glean from this. You know, I'll just start over and I'll expect something different the next time, not applying anything that I learned previously from the experience. Because that's what I think Alice was doing, but then she finally realized, I am the person, I am responsible, I am accountable, I am powerful, I am someone, I have a voice. And I think that's the significance for me with Alice in Wonderland. I went through some time in my life where I was kind of like in Wonderland and not accepting reality for what it was or for what it is. And so going through the process with Alice helped me to see my reality a little better and understand my responsibility as I approach reality, and how empowered I am, and how, though we don't think that we have this strength and though we don't think we're empowered to do certain things, it's all right there in us, and we just have to look within. You know, I was talking to someone today and I said, all these external factors, they don't mean anything. It all starts in here. What you make up your mind to do, how you choose to love yourself, how you start with yourself and work outward. Yes, you're going to give. Yes, you're going to take care of people and you're going to love on people. But at the same time, I think we have to be responsible enough to know how we feel emotionally and how we feel mentally as we give these things. So being mindful of that and knowing that it starts here. And so I think for Alice, it started with her realizing who she was and how strong she is and the things that she could stand up to and speak up about. And so for us, likewise, it's taking account of our situation and looking and saying, okay, I'm strong enough. I can handle that. I can address this situation. I can affect this situation. I can change this situation. I can affect my reality. No one makes our reality but ourselves, because we can choose where we want to be, who we want to interact with, you know, who we want to have relationships with. And so that's what I got from Alice in Wonderland. Not to be in Wonderland, not to go in this fake reality or not really seeing things for what they are, even though they seem bizarre, out of control, outlandish, sometimes outrageous, hurtful, painful, impossible. Even though they may seem that way, we need to look at ourselves and we need to see our strength and our responsibility in all of these situations and how we can affect change. And so that leads me to one of the ways that we can affect the change is knowing our truth. And everything that we talk about kind of goes together. But when I talk about who am I, and that's something that Alice learned in the movie, who am I? Because as we evaluate that, we start to see our truth, you know, whatever it is. our driver's license says that we weigh this much. Is that reality or is that the truth? You know what I'm saying? But we need to find out what our truth is. And it's difficult as we walk through this life. I come up with some things that I say about myself, things that I learn about myself that I find some of them are magnificent, absolutely magnificent. And of course I don't focus on those, and I have to do a better job at that because I need to focus on the magnificent things that are a part of me. But where I find myself spending a lot of time are the things that the reality of my truth that I do not appreciate. But the reason I'm spending so much time there right now is because I consider myself to be doing the work. And there's some things that I'm comfortable with, some things that I'm happy with, some things that I'm very well pleased with in my life, and there's some things that I feel like I need some work. And so that's why I say we have to excavate, because I can operate on this surface and everything's going absolutely wonderful, and I'm doing the things that I want to do, and I'm keeping those things, hidden that I don't want to come up or don't want to recognize in me. But as we process the love in ourselves and we process who we are, even those dirty truths or those things that we don't want to embody, we have to address them. And it's not a beating up of ourselves by no means, but I feel like I can't truly express myself, be my best self, or love myself if I don't deal with the magnificent things as well as the things that are challenging to me. I think I know I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and I told her something about me, and it wasn't to get her to resolve it or anything like that. And I know she wanted to help, and people want to deal with things, but it really wasn't to get it resolved. It was for me, because all these things that I'm doing in my journey on this road that I'm taking is for me, to get more clarity, to see myself not for who I want to be, but who I am, and to see all the great characteristics that comprise me, and then also some of the things that lead me into like vicious cycles that repeat itself. And as I look at it, I see I'm exhibiting the same characteristics. There's something in me that I have to work out so that I can stop having these same cycles. So I'm revealing my truth, because in revealing my truth, it's therapeutic, because some of these truths are ugly. But as I reveal that ugly truth, there's a decision that has to be made. And the decision for you, me, or whomever is, do we want to bury that ugly truth, or do we want to excavate it and address it? Not anesthetize it or anything, but let's address it. Let's deal with it. Why is it what it is? What drives me in that direction? Why do I feel this particular gravitational pull? Why? And if I don't reveal that ugly truth, I feel like it's going to go with me wherever this journey leads me. Wherever this journey takes me, that little thing that I refuse to deal with is going to come right along with us. And I don't want that, because I'm trying to get whole. And some of these ugly truths don't allow us to be the whole person that we are desiring to be. So I know it's not flattering. I know it doesn't feel good, but sometimes we have to say, I have trouble with this, or this really has a hold on me. I feel powerless against this, whatever the case may be. But in saying that, it's not giving it power over you. It's taking the power away, meaning I see you and I'm coming for you. I see you, I recognize you, and we're going to be in a battle. It's calling it out, just like we used to say back in school, in elementary school, we used to say, so-and-so calls her out. Okay, well, when I am saying, okay, this is something about me that is interesting, or I'm trying to figure this out, I'm calling it out. I'm literally saying, this is it, I'm calling it out, and we're about to address it. We're about to find out what the root is. We're about to get it out of here and throw it away, burn it, do whatever we have to. So it's not I want to say to us, it's not a weakness. So many years I have tried to not name the things that were troublesome for me. But those days are over as I enter into this new sphere, this new realm of my life, or just, this Lovin Sheila journey. I can't pretend that Sheila doesn't have these different ways. Dealing with these things, calling them out, is me facing my reality. Okay? It's understanding what my reality is. Not what I want my reality to be, that I'm perfect and my life is perfect and everything is going just well. But my reality is, things are going fine. There's some things that I need to deal with. There's some things that I need to address. And if I'm going to get to the next level, if I'm going to evolve like I say I want to, then come on, let's call it out. Let's deal with it. Let's address it. And I'm not in any rush. It could take me a year to figure it out, maybe 5 years. Who knows how long? Or it could take a month. Who knows? But the fact that I'm willing to address it, and that's where our strength is. So, ladies, I just encourage you, whatever that elephant is in the room, whatever that ugly truth is, or whatever that just truth is that you prefer not to deal with, call it out. Call it out. Call it by name. Address it. It's not giving it power over you. It's taking the power that it has over you, the energy that you've used to suppress it and to act like it's not there. It's giving you back power, and it's leading you. Your reality is leading you further into your truth and getting to where you're trying to get. So you're going to get a lot of interpretations if you disclose things to folks. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I've said something about something I noticed about me, and she was like, call things that are not as though they are. And I'm like, absolutely for that. Absolutely believe in speaking things into existence. Trusting God, and not putting things in the atmosphere, negative things. And it's not negative. It's true. It's a truth that I've chosen to deal with and to further examine so that I can correct it, because it's not going to be corrected while it's hidden. So in the past, as I chose not to deal with some realities in my life, there are a lot of things that were in my head that I didn't say because I didn't want to give life to it. There are a lot of things that were concerning to me, but I chose not to give life to it. I would not put it in the atmosphere. But as I've grown and as I've gotten stronger, it's now I realize how powerful I am, and I know that the power of life and death is in the tongue. But the things that I'm saying are not like deadening. They won't kill me. It's actually to make me stronger. And some things must die in order for other things to live. And we know that, like unless a seed falls to the ground, okay, it's not going to spring up. So it has to go in first, and then it'll spring up. And likewise, some things will have to die in us, or some things will have to be revealed in order for us to get to the next level, to have a better reality, and to understand our truth and to affect our truth. And along the lines of truth, I was, if you know me, if those of you who know me, know that I'm a huge boxing fan. And so I was watching Oscar De La Hoya's documentary the other day. And what I really could appreciate, and I feel like so many of us, whether we're men or women, right now we are going through this discovery period. And all of us seem to be around the same age, the X generation. And, we're having this discovery, and we're trying to be real with ourselves. And so Oscar said that his whole golden boy image was a lie. And he shared all the things that he was doing while he was speaking about how he wanted to be a great role model and this and that, and how he wasn't there for his children, how he was doing drugs, he wasn't faithful to his wife, he was drinking a lot, how he lied about his mother saying, go get the gold medal, before she died. It never happened. And for a lot of folks, hearing someone say, I lived a lie, and I've lied about so many things, it makes it seem like they're just a fraud. But it gave me a greater respect for him, because I'm just like, it's easy just to continue to live a lie. I mean, it's hard because you got to remember your lies, you got to believe your lies at a certain point, and I'm sure at a certain point you don't know what's real and what's not real. But even he said it, just giving, this is his truth. And so he had to admit that he lived a lie, and he pretended to be what everyone wanted him to be, this golden child doing all the right things with a smile on his face. But meanwhile, in the background, he's living a life of debauchery, And so here he is, a Hall of Fame boxer with a statue in front of Staples Center, and now he's telling you all the negative things that they said about me are true. The thing that I built my career on is my dying mother telling me to go win the gold medal. It was a lie. And I was a carefully conceived superstar, And if we're not careful, I just want to say that's what we could be, very calculated in what we present to the world and how we are seen. And, having a smile on our face and always saying the right thing. As my girlfriend used to call it in one of her messages, a cover girl. And I'm saying it's time to stop it. It's time to have reality be reality. And so I gained a great deal of respect for Oscar in just revealing his reality and revealing who he is. And I think it takes great strength in being that vulnerable. I mean, it's easy to live the lie, to continue the lie. What takes strength is stopping it and saying no more, and dealing with the fallout from all the folks who thought it was a certain way and you were this and that. That's where your strength comes in, okay? That's where it is. That's what's going to differentiate you. And so that's why I said it's okay to deal with your ugly truths, because it's going to make you a stronger person, a respectable person, but also a person that you can respect more when you know that you are living your truth. And so I just want to encourage us all to do that. I know we're going through a lot of things, and we spend a lot of time trying to cover things up and make it seem like it's better than what it is, but let's just try and walk in it. I'm here for it, the truth. And with the truth, you can make an honest assessment of who you are, of where you're going, how you're going to get there, who can go with you, who is a contributor to your happiness and your success, and who is a detractor to your happiness and your success. And you can find a way to, like Alice, choose the right door, okay? And move forward the way that you want to. And I heard something this week when I was listening to Dr. Cloud, and he was talking about a lot of times people try to persuade you. And, they may be very convincing with whatever. But the best thing you can do is see with your own eyes, learn with your own eyes, experience it for yourself so you can know. Like, I can't tell you, I can't just tell you, hey, this is the deal, do this. But if you open yourself up, make yourself vulnerable, and proceed and live in your truth, you can see for yourself. And all those people who don't mean you any good or whatever the case may be, you can observe that too and see how it makes you feel, or see what effect it has on you, and figure out what their role is to be in your life. Because maybe it's a lesson role, or maybe lesser access, or maybe greater access. Maybe they really push you forward and make you a better person. So maybe they need to take a larger role in your life. Who knows? But all these things, so I guess that's another message in there, just to observe, learn, don't be rushed, take your time, whatever time it takes to learn something, take that time. It's not microwaved, it doesn't go on sale, it's gonna be an investment. So understand that and move in that. And I also, during our time away, I actually went to see Barbie. And it's that movie, for it to be a quote unquote lighthearted movie, it had a very interesting effect on me. I left feeling very ambivalent. I left feeling very like, I don't know what I thought about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I can't say I like it. I can't say I don't like it. I can't say it wasn't a good movie. It just had a lot of feelings. And one of the things that was interesting to me, that was funny to me actually, because I told you all when my son went away to college, I felt like laying down, like just find me over there laid out somewhere, no earthly good. And I had never seen anybody laid out somewhere, no earthly good. It was just a vision that I had of myself when I felt like I couldn't go on. And it was interesting because Barbie had a situation, and I can't recall what happened, but where she could have fought, she could have done something, she could have stood up, and she laid down, all the way down. And everybody's like, you're just gonna lay there? And then when she was laid there, and then she rolled over, and kind of laid down some more. I think she was on her face. And that was funny because I had envisioned myself doing it, but I'd never seen anyone do it, and it just shows how ridiculous it is. But yet it showed me that is a feeling, so I understand where it comes from. And I just thought that was funny. So it tickled me because I have been there, Barbie. And I did want to see it because my sister Tina and I, we played Barbie forever. And I recall, like when she's 4 years older than me, at a certain point she did not want to play Barbie anymore. And she probably doesn't remember that. But it was hurtful to me because now she's a little older and I'm still young. And so I got left behind in our Barbie world. It was like, do you play by yourself? Some kind of way we just had this world, this city, this whole city, these marriages between all the Kens and the Barbies and Christies and so forth. And when she, and some of them she had, she was responsible for, and others I was responsible for. So when she left, it wasn't as fun anymore playing Barbie all alone. But so that's the trauma of my Barbie. Nonetheless, the interesting part, I think probably the most pivotal part of the movie, was a monologue that happened by the actress America Ferrera. She played Gloria in the film. And I'm going to have my producers roll this while I kind of speak on it, okay? I'm going to bring it up so I can articulate a little bit of this. So it's about a 1 minute thing. And so I'm going to jump into this a little bit later because I don't want to read the whole thing. So she's just like, it's almost like a meltdown moment, but not quite a meltdown moment. And this is what it says. But we always have to stand out, always be grateful, but never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everyone thinks it's your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. All of that is also true for a doll just representing women. Then I don't even know. Okay, but let's just go back. So in the theater at this time, the people like, it was everyone's like clapping after she finishes this talk. This is like rant. It's too hard. It's contradictory, and it just goes to, it speaks on, and I think this is probably why the movie touched me in some way. It just speaks on the demands placed on women and the fact that we don't get a chance to stop. You know, when I said earlier, life just keeps lifing. We don't get a chance. We have to be thin, make money, be grateful, never forget, the system is rigged, you can only go so far, acknowledge this, you never get a medal, no one ever says thank you, you're doing everything wrong, everything's your fault, you're getting fingers pointed at you, and it just goes to show that there's so many things in life that are lifing, and they just don't stop, and then we're being hit with so many things, and we can never, and this is what I appreciate about Barbie, we can never just go there and lay down and then roll over. It's never an option. And it's exhausting. And it's going on daily. And I think the fact that we got some acknowledgement of this in this film was heartwarming, because we do a lot. And sometimes it's a thankless job. I mean, when you're going through it for your husbands and you're supporting them, and you're going through it with your children, and you're doing the homework, and then they become teenagers and they don't like you, don't want to talk to you, you feel like they wish you did not even exist. No one's thanking you. It's a thankless job, and you're working your job and trying to make money, move up in your career, and it's a thankless job sometimes. And so it's exhausting. And for someone to take a moment and just to say it, because I think she was at a point where, she had a teenager that didn't really care that she existed, and so she was just feeling like, what is her place? And I think that's what we find. And I think that's what led me here to Lovin Sheila, because what is my place? Where is it not contradictory? Where is a place, a safe place, where I can feel what I feel and be who I am? And if that's the fearful Sheila, the Sheila that's laid out somewhere, the high achieving Sheila, where can it just be okay, And so she just expressed that, because we are constantly moving in this contradictory world, and it's clear, it's very clear. And I was thinking that, how should I say, in my real life reality outside of Barbie, this week I had some moments where I literally had to stop the bleeding, and stop the bleeding where you can get the help that you need, you can get the resources that you need, you can get the rehab that you need, you can detox like you need. But the first thing you have to do is stop the bleeding. And I think that's what Gloria was doing in this Barbie movie, was like just stop, like recognizing, dealing with the reality of the situation, evaluating her truth, and just saying like, yo, I cannot do this anymore. Enough is enough. I'm going to stop the bleeding. I'm going to stop living in this freaking fantasy world where everything is perfect, like a Barbie doll or whatever. And I'm going to deal with reality, and I'm going to make it what I need it to be. And I'm not going to be moved by all the things that people impose on me. I'm not going to be conformed to what you want me to conform to. I'm going to transform myself to what I want to be. And just like, in our Barbie world, when I had my Barbie world and I played like I played, I made their situations what I wanted it to be. I didn't give them struggles, and I didn't give them stress, and cars getting repossessed, and houses foreclosed on, and marriages breaking up, or things like that. I gave them life. I gave them positivity. And so likewise, just like we have the ability to create in our Barbie world, we have the ability to create in our real world. And we can start by stopping the bleeding and getting what we need, acknowledging what we need, being real with ourselves so we can deal with our reality and our truth. And I think that's a magnificent thing. That's what we need to do. So we stop the bleeding, we get the help we need, we create the world that we desire. And that's what Lovin Sheila is about. Like I said, I came to you where I was like, enough, let's stop this bleeding. You're living a life that it's good, it's actually good. But there's a lot of little hidden crevices, that are seeping up that you need to address, and like see who you are, okay? See what you want. And so that's what we need to do. So we need to stop the bleeding, stop conforming, and get the help that we need to enable us to be who we want to be in this life, and design it just like we did our Barbie world, with happiness and the resources and the people that we want, to have our dream house and our dream Corvette, and all the things that we want. We can make it that way. We can design it that way, but we got to deal with our truth, our reality, and we got to be vulnerable and honest with ourselves so we can make a true assessment And I hope that's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing my best to do. I haven't got there all the way. There's some things I'm still discovering about myself, but I'm committed to the process. So commit to the process, ladies, and we can do it, all right? We can do it. Don't forget to go to longwithbodywear.com, get your Lovin Me tank or tee for just $10. Just use the promo code Lovin Sheila or podcast, and it's yours for $10. And what else? If I want to hear from you, so if you want to just reach out, you can. Sheila B at longwithbodywear.com. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on our YouTube, our Spotify. I love you. I thank you for watching. Until the next time we meet, take care of yourself, and I will see you soon.